Welcome to the Film Angle. I'm Alex, and today I'm joined by the writers and directors of the new short film Largo, Salvatore Scarpa and Max Burgoyne-Moore. Largo is a short film that follows a young Syrian refugee called Musa, who's living in the UK and sets out to build a boat to sail back home in search of his missing parents. Through Musa's story, the film explores themes of displacement and grief, all refracted through the lens of a child's enduring hope. The film's actually now beginning its festival run, having very recently had its world premiere at the Indie Shorts International Film Festival. And at the time of this episode's release, it's making its Los Angeles premiere at the Holly Shorts Festival, one of the biggest short film festivals in the world, and is also an Oscar qualifying event, which makes Largo a pretty strong awards contender moving forward. It's an absolute pleasure to be able to speak to Max and Salvatore about this film, their process, and the story behind it. So I think we should probably just jump straight into that conversation. So please enjoy. Welcome to the Film Angle, Max and Salv. How are you?
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, we're good. We're in the sunshine in Los Angeles, so we can't complain.
Absolutely. That's great. Before we jump into your short film Largo, I'd love to just rewind a little bit and get to know how you both kind of came into want to become filmmakers or getting into film. Just rewind a little bit. Let us know how that came about.
Yeah, I guess it's worth saying that we met when we were like, how old were we?
12 and 13.
12 and 13. So we've known each other for a long time. We used to do school plays together when we were at school, and then we kind of both went off in our own directions. I went to train as an actor, and Max went to do other things.
That was shady.
But eventually he ended up studying screenwriting, and so when we both finished training, we bumped into each other.
Yeah, literally on the street.
We hadn't seen each other in a while, and we just started.
Yeah, we realized we both wanted to do the same things, and we both have the same taste in films and food and music, and that's sort of how we ended up working as a duo.
Yeah, it started off with talking about food, and then we realized, we like the same filmmakers, so we kind of jammed.
Yeah, jammed.
Brilliant.
Nice.
Right, that is almost exactly how my co-host on the podcast, who isn't here today, it's all about. We all like the same films, we all like the same food, we all like the same music, so it's just very easy to hang out with each other.
Yeah, it makes the arguments easier when you've eaten.
Oh, definitely. So when you were younger, there were no kind of creative endeavors prior to you kind of reconnecting?
Actually, yeah. Before I worked with Sal, I was a filmmaking duo when I was like 9 years old.
Oh,
that's when I started.
Was that when you were threatened with a letter from?
Yeah, I got a cease and desist from MGM when I was 9 years old.
Oh, no way!
Like the live action remake of Tom and Jerry, and they it was the early days of YouTube, and they were not happy about it.
Brilliant.
But no, that partner in crime is now he's got a PhD, works in a lab, so I replaced him.
Yeah, replaced him with me.
And you're better.
And I worked as an actor. I've been working as an actor. I still do work as an actor, so it kind of all fit together quite nicely. We tend to tell the lie that Max is sort of more geared towards the tech side of things, and he deals with all the technical aspects, and I deal with like the actors on set. But we kind of
it is a lie.
It is a lie because we just tell people that so they kind of they feel more comfortable.
Yeah, they know who to ask for.
They know who to ask what. But yeah, we tend to both do everything.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, I'm interested to know then, Salv, acting for you is and then filmmaking, does one come before the other? Like what made you decide to stay behind the camera for this project?
Ooh, good question. Yeah. Good question. I think initially filmmaking was a way for me to both try and create work for myself, and then also like it was because I'm Italian and British. I was always like being called in for auditions for Italian stuff, and I was kind of like, but I want to do all the English stuff too. And it was kind of just a way for me to try and do the things I wanted to do. And I just realized I really enjoy it, and we're okay at it. We've had a bit of kind of traction with it, so we've kind of just gone along with that. I mean, I don't think one comes before the other. I think the two support each other, for sure. Like the fact that I'm able to go to set as an actor and I know what the jobs are of everybody on set is really helpful. And likewise, being a director on set, knowing what it's like to be an actor, I have a feel for how to get people to do the right things. So kind of just they complement each other, and hopefully that will continue in that way. Yeah.
Do you think the kind of acting has kind of influenced how you would direct them?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I just feel much more comfortable having conversations with actors because of it. Max can't talk to actors.
Yeah, I have him to translate.
Well, Max, you have a background in education, is that right?
Yeah, I work I'm a videographer for a company that teaches how to teach kids to read. That's a mouthful.
Brilliant. Nice. And do you think that kind of background has influenced your directing style at all, or is there anything you've learned from that you've kind of brought into the film role?
I mean, before that, I've been a teacher for other stuff as well. And when it came to Largo specifically, like working with kids, I think other directors find the whole idea of working with kids very daunting. They say don't work with kids, don't work with animals, don't work at the sea. On Largo, we did 2 out of 3. There were some seagulls, so maybe all 3. But working with kids to me is just like I do it pretty much every week. So it's not as complicated as people think it's going to be. Put it that way.
Yes,
once you got used to it, and I have now definitely got used to it.
Yeah, and I'm very childish, so it helps.
Brilliant. So you guys started a production studio together. What made you? What was the genesis of that, essentially?
Kind of similar to what I just said before about the acting stuff. We were both finding ourselves looking for production companies to collaborate with or to take on our work. When we were applying for stuff, we just kind of needed that, and we wanted to create something that was our own and had sort of our style.
Yeah, and in the same way you wanted to make films that would give you different sort of acting roles, we started doing that for our friends and friends of friends, and now it's sort of like a surreal thing as well.
Yeah,
and we do a bit of other videography stuff to pay the bills.
Yeah, it just made sense to have a production company that we could just call our own, and it's
good branding, basically.
Yeah.
Also, the company is named after the teacher who was the director of the school plays that we were in together as kids. So that
kind of inspired our artistic
sort of made us realize we were into the same sort of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, so that's really lovely.
Yeah. Tom Goodluck.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, probably a good place to maybe start talking about Largo. Do you want to, for our audience, say in your own words what the film is about?
Yeah, Largo is a short film about a Syrian refugee, a 10-year-old boy who lives in the UK without his parents. He's feeling very homesick and unwelcome for the obvious reasons. And eventually he decides he's had enough. So he decides he's going to build a boat and try and sail back home to find his parents.
For those of us in the UK, it's pretty easy to see why you might want to tell this type of story right now. Refugees are such a heated topic in our news cycle. So I'd be interested to know, I guess, how the idea came to you guys, and what made you think this is the story I want to tell.
I think we were both kind of feeling quite disheartened by the reaction to the refugee crisis in the towns we were from. We're both from the Midlands. Like people that we saw usually as quite welcoming and
nice
were not being like that. And
even people that weren't being hostile, a lot of people were just sort of, as the refugee crisis has gone on, they've become indifferent. And, like you said, the news cycle is non-stop. It's very numbing when it's just numbers,
just statistics after statistics. And it's like there's no human story behind those numbers, really.
Yeah.
And the numbers are really hard to comprehend. Like, we were talking about them yesterday, and like Matt said, can you go over those statistics again? Because it'd been a while since we'd gone over the statistics, and it was like there are 11 million child refugees in the world, and 11 million child refugees, you can throw that number around, but 11 million is it's huge. Yeah. It's a huge number. And
we wanted to tell a story that was just the story of one kid and would sort of inspire and remind people of their empathy, basically.
Yeah. There's so much kind of rhetoric, and I think you use some of it in the film where it's like these talking points that people repeat, but they don't fully recognize that the people they're talking about are human, and I think that's really interesting. Just how that kind of becomes ingrained in society. How much of the story is an inspiration from kind of real events, real people? Was that something that you were looking into when creating the story, or was it more of a kind of, we need to tell almost like a fable in a way?
Yeah, it is definitely more on the fable side.
Yeah, there was one thing that happened in Italy that was in the news like 11 years ago that really struck me, and it stayed with me. And it was similar, but it wasn't really this story, so we can't say that it's in any way a true story. Yeah. But it was kind of an amalgamation of lots of little things.
Yeah, a kid running away.
Yeah,
because he feels unwelcome, and then we sort of took that to the extreme. And part of that was, like you said, that those talking points, things people repeat without thinking about, was, people say, go back to where you came from, or go back home.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems obvious to us that anyone that's, left their home to find safety or freedom would much rather have that at home, especially if you're a child and you're not with your parents. So it's just sort of an interesting launching point for the story of, this kid really would want to go home. He sort of agrees with the xenophobia. You would rather be back home. So he's got that childish imagination and determination to just go, yeah, I'll do it. And then we see the consequences of that on the British people in the town.
Definitely. So I'm interested from like a screenplay point of view. I've only ever dabbled in kind of writing my own screenplays by myself, but obviously you wrote as a duo here. How does that process work for you then? Are you both sitting down at the computer together trying to map out the story, or are you sending drafts back and forward?
Yeah, it's all of that. It's usually one person at the computer, the other one pacing around the room.
Yeah, I mean, we've done this just recently. We figured out a really nice new way to do it, because the great thing about working as a duo is that you can hold each other accountable. So you're not just kind of like procrastinating by yourself, saying, "Oh, I'll write this later." There's no Max holds me accountable. He'll call me up and say, "Where's the thing that you said you were going to write? Like, you haven't written the 10 pages." And I'll go, "Oh yeah, I've got to do it." And likewise, I do the same for him. But recently we wrote a pilot for something, and we had written a skeleton for the thing, and the quickest way was, Salv, you just write the worst version of this, just you call it a vomit draft. Just put it on paper. It doesn't matter how bad it is.
Yeah.
And then
sometimes the dialogue is literally a character going, dialogue.
Yeah, but we figure out the sense of it, and then that skeleton is really easy to edit and tweak. So I think working as a duo is kind of, it just speeds things along quite nice.
And also, any idea that's a bad idea gets caught before anyone else has seen it.
Yeah.
If I say something truly dumb, he's we're not going there.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
And Max is a much better writer than I am. I'm gonna.
Oh, thanks.
So like me being able to just put stuff on paper and Max going, "No, this is dumb," is great. It's like a first edit before it's even going through an edit.
You sort of write more as a director.
Yeah.
You're adding in what the actors are doing, the little details.
Yeah, I have a lot of visuals all the time. I'm like, I can see this thing, and I'm trying to explain it, and Max is very good at translating that to paper. So that is definitely
I guess it helps as well that you guys are writing for yourself, so you can write the screenplay in any which way you like, because you're not submitting it for somebody else to create. But I am also interested as well, like, is writing something that you've both is it something that you both enjoy, or is it a means to kind of get your projects off the ground?
It depends on the project. Some of the stuff we've written it's a real pain in the ass to get it out, writing wise, and you sort of have to fight your way through it. And then some things just come out really quick, and it's, especially back in, if you're doing something a little more lighthearted and fun, the vibing with each other as you're writing and making each other laugh makes the whole thing like much more entertaining.
Yesterday we were walking down the street, we were walking back from the cinema, and we were jamming over a story, and like within an hour after we got back, Max was like, I just sent you the whole outline. It was a 2-page outline of like the story. I was like, this is easy, right? We can write this one because we both enjoy it, we both laugh over it. And there are some where we know the concept is really fun, it's really good, but it's like, it's a real pain to get on the page. It's really hit and miss.
Yeah. Am I right in thinking that once the screenplay was written, that's when you kind of then reached out? Is it the Refugee Council that you guys worked with to kind of work with refugees who have been displaced, and that shaped the script, or was that in post?
So first of all, once we'd written the script, we sent it to Slick Films, who are the production company. They won an Oscar a few years ago. They loved it. They signed us up to work on it. There was the whole process of, getting the money. It takes ages on a short film to get enough cash. Got that, shot it. And the thing you're talking about, having people with lived experience, displaced creatives on set, and all the other departments of production, was a company, Good Chance. They're a theatre company originally. They
do a lot of work in film.
Yeah. And they had a similar program for theatre. It's called
behind the scene,
behind the curtain, backstage. We should have.
Yeah,
we should have learned that.
We should know that.
But they, they've done some really big plays on the West End and in New York and stuff, and they were super generous. Just sort of helped us shift that program they had into film.
Yeah, it was kind of a pilot version of that for screen, so we were able to have some really amazing people on set with us. The Refugee Council was more fact checking and supporting the project and making sure that we were doing things correctly, basically. Again, like, invaluable. Like, it is just so amazing that we were able to use them as a resource, and for them to show their support. It gave the whole thing a little bit more credibility, especially when we were raising more funds and so on. And it meant a lot to have them on board.
Their seal of approval really helped get it over the finish line. So,
but Good Chance is the company you're thinking of that helped us build the program.
Nice. And that was to bring,
and actually the real big thing that they've helped us do recently is the schools program. So going beyond the festival circuit, so the film's going to play in schools and so on, and with workshops in poetry, drama, and film that all relate to the subject matter, basically.
Just sort of get the conversation going with kids around the UK.
So hopefully that program will continue beyond everything we're doing right now.
The producers are working to make it so it's not just both those programs are not just on Largo, they'll be on other stuff in British productions in the future.
Rashid Sabitri and Charles Mounier, they are our producers, and they really pioneered that program. It's great.
That's brilliant. I mean, it must be interesting to kind of have this film that is one thing, this piece of art that you can send out to festivals, but also works. I don't want to say activism, but it does kind of work as a piece of activism and also as a piece of education within kind of school programs, and I think that's really great. But
I think it was a big part of it was like, why are we actually telling this story? If we're not like using it to make a little difference with it,
Yeah,
and we were really inspired by. Sorry, we were really inspired by Slick's film that actually made some like impact socially. The Silent Child, like it played in Parliament, and
actually changed some people's minds on that subject, that
and
had
that
the ability to do something about it. So
yeah, that was a real driving force as well.
That's great. I'm sure I'll ask you more about the kind of life of Largo after its kind of festival run with you guys in a bit, but I'm interested about kind of on set, obviously working with Good Chance. Was there any input or stories from the people that you were working with that kind of influenced any element of the film whilst making it at all?
Yeah, I mean, not directly story-wise. There was a bit of, for fact-checking, a lot of authenticity double-checking.
Yeah.
Like, one of the characters is played by Amar, who's an actor from Syria, and he coached Zach, the lead role, the kid, to get his, Zach was doing the Arabic, but the accent wasn't quite right for the bit of Syria he was supposed to be from, and Amar coached that. Just, he was already acting in it, but it was just as an extra helping out. And little details like that are just essential stuff that we couldn't, it's impossible for us to detect the difference in.
Yeah, of course. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And so bits like that. And then also it just sort of helped the vibe on set of, sometimes film sets can get a bit frivolous and there's a lot of egos, and that all sort of disappeared because everyone realized the subject matter is important. It's really important to a lot of people who are working on the film. And everyone just sort of bought their A game and was a little more respectful, I guess is the word.
Yeah, nice. You're dealing with a pretty heavy subject matter, so I guess it's that's a really good way of keeping everybody on the right track.
Yeah,
that's brilliant. I guess I'm interested as well, similarly to how you guys kind of wrote together, I'm interested as well to know what it's like directing together as well. What's that partnership like, and how do you disagree and agree and all that kind of stuff? How does that work?
Yeah. All the disagreeing, all the arguments happen behind closed doors, and we say arguments. We bicker. But we do.
When I say behind closed doors, we mean before we get on set. It's not like we're going into a cupboard, shutting the door, making the crew wait.
I mean, with this film, because it's been with us for a while, we had very clear ideas, and we had done a lot of debating and a lot of cutting, and the script went through like 100 versions maybe.
I think in the end there was like 40 full change drafts.
So we knew everything inside out, so we were able to just go on set and feel really confident that we were both on the same page. Like we said earlier, there's this thing of like Max dealing with the camera and me dealing with the actors, and like practically that does tend to happen. It's like I'll actually talk to Zach, and then Max will whisper in my ear, or add a few bits, and then Max will talk with Rick, DOP. Shout out to Rick Joaquin,
he's great,
the best.
But yeah, it's not so much that we're splitting who does what creatively. It's more that it lets us be in two places at once. Which on a short, especially when you're pressed for time.
Yeah, like we shot in 4 days. Like the ability to like do everything so quickly was important.
Like at one point we had to split. We had a second unit, and we had like one camera at one end of the beach and one camera in the sea, and we could literally split and be looking at two different monitors at the same time. So
wow. Did you say 4 days? You shot in 4 days?
Yeah. It was super quick. Like,
two inside, two outside.
Yeah, didn't feel like 4 days. It was,
a lot, a long 4 days. Do you have a pretty hefty like pre-production then to make sure that what you were getting was exactly what you wanted it to be? Were you pretty rigorous with that?
Yeah.
I think between finally getting the money we needed and shooting was about 9 months.
Yeah.
And so, that was getting the cast and the crew, but also like storyboarding the stunt scenes. We worked with Roy Taylor, this legendary stunt coordinator, who came on for a huge discount because he's a friend of the producer. And it was all we shot during the strikes were happening in LA. A lot of big productions, both in LA and London, had to shut down, which meant we were very lucky that there were people and gear available to work on a short film that usually they would never work on.
Yeah.
Right.
And so, like, we worked with Roy for a long time to make sure all the stunt stuff was going to be safe and feasible, because it's a 10-year-old boy in sea.
Yeah, Roy dealt with the second unit stuff. They were shooting all the boat stuff out at sea.
And it was like, it's our first time working on anything with stunts, which is not just like us falling over in the garden. So there's all sorts of stuff that you don't know you need to consider before it happens. And likewise for the design, we had to have a boat that conceivably was built by a 10-year-old boy, but also had to be safe enough for him to be in the sea to film. And it had to look both, functional, but broken. You had to be able to get a camera in it. We thought, like, we ended up with 3 boats. Joanna Diaz, our production designer, made. That's like the wrecked boat, the in-progress boat, the main boat, and then one of them turned into a spare boat in case we lost one in the ocean. Like, there was...
Also because while they were shooting the stuff out at sea, we were on the ground shooting another boat that he was finding, with the bit where he finds the boat. So we those 3 boats were essential to making things move quickly. Did we answer your question there?
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of pre-production.
A lot of pre-production.
Absolutely. I guess to kind of add to it, you mentioned your director of photography, Rick Joachim. At what process did he come on board, and what was that kind of collaboration like in terms of getting the tone and the style of the film? The film looks absolutely stunning. Like, it is a really, really good looking film. Right. So I imagine
he did a good job.
Absolutely. I mean, like, he came on board quite early on.
I think it was the first.
Like, he was the first one
big hire,
Yeah, because we'd
never worked with him before.
Yeah, we met him through Slick, and then we met a few different people, but
we watched his show and we're like, this guy.
Yeah, like, his work was really impressive. He's another one of these people that was just really down with the project and the subject matter. So we ended up meeting with him, and just like all the references of the film, he was just like totally jazzed about. Like, he was like, we were geeking out about all the same movies. So it just kind of made sense that he would sort of shoot the thing the way we wanted it. And like, one of our big things was, because of how short the time frame is, and because of like the budget, we really needed someone to problem solve with, like, really quickly. Like, he was that guy, he knew how to do it. And
he then brought in his team as the camera crew, and they're all like top tier.
And then
it's cool.
And then, like, little things like, we really need like a different vibe. We needed a different vibe for there's like the dream sequence near the end of the film. And immediately he had ideas, like, immediately he knew exactly what to bring and what lenses to try out. And like, he gave us a bunch of options, and like, it was all very quick, and
he was just on our wavelength from the get-go. So he sort of fit in as a third wheel to us, which was good.
And he got us to put together like a cinematography reel for him, and from
a mood reel,
and
that ended up being one of the, like, he came on board before we got all the money, and that mood reel and his involvement really helped get across, like, a script is good, people can read a script, but if someone is like not in film, reading a script is a bit weird.
It's
an odd format of document, And then if they can watch, it's just made of clips of other films, the references were sort of arranged in a way that told the story a bit. And people would watch that and be like, yeah, I want to watch this. This is like the best trailer for a movie I've ever seen.
That was one of the craziest things, actually, because once we got everyone on board using that material, using the mood reel, we worked really, really hard to get a treatment together that was stunning, that could tell the story, and you could really dive into like the moment you open that treatment, you're in the world. We really played with it practically. And once we got everyone on board, we kind of forgot about it, right? And then we shot, and then 2 years later we open up that treatment again because we had to send it for something else. And we were looking at all the references and the cinematography reel, and it was exactly the same. We got it so spot on. Not us, but the people that were working on it. It just goes to show how important that reel was to communicating what we wanted.
The directing started with that rather than on set. Everyone knew what we were aiming for that months in advance. So by the time, like we said, 4 days, a lot of questions people don't need to ask us because they've already seen that and they know what page to be on. Basically.
And that I have to shout out Chris Overton for really pushing us to get as many visuals down as possible. I remember but when he read the script, he could really imagine it, and he was just like, you guys need to get so many visuals in one place, and just get people on in your heads. And that was great. He's a great bit of advice.
Yeah, sounds like you guys really kind of got your ideas out onto the page and kind of were able to bring other people along. I'm interested to know as well, now in front of the camera, you have a pretty stacked cast with this film. Tamsin Greig, Kevin McNally, Amar Haj Ahmad, and I've a newcomer to me with the actor who played Musa, Zach. Is it El Sakari?
El Sakari.
And
this is his first film.
Yeah, his first thing. He did something. He did a tiny little role in The Crown, and then he got cut in the edit. And apart from that, this Largo was his first thing, and he was just
he's a superstar.
Unbelievable. We did a little cast and crew screening in town at the Prince Charles, and he did his Q&A at the end of the screen.
He upstaged everyone else at the
he's a superstar waiting to sort of blow up for sure. He's so brilliant, and I think we got really, really, really lucky finding a kid that was as intelligent and as emotionally intelligent as Zach. And I think all the actors, the older actors, were really impressed by him too, because he was so on it. He was just ready to go, and he'd done his research and he had ideas.
He had questions about the backstory, not just the subject matter, but his character's backstory, other characters' back. He did more research than I think any other actor we've ever worked with.
Yeah, it was quite intimidating.
That's funny. Similarly with your older actors as well, I imagine quite intimidating working with some of the greats there.
Yeah,
it was before we met them, and then
you
have that first meeting. Just get a cup of coffee, you're chit chatting, you're like, oh, okay.
If someone signs up for this kind of film, you kind of know that. Well, we knew that they were on our wavelength, vibe wise and politically, and it just made everything easier, to get the work going.
Yeah, we should shout out Nick Hockaday.
Nick Hockaday, what a legend!
We, like you said, it's a stacked cast. Tamsin and Kevin were on our wish lists of people, which we thought was a bit crazy. We're like, we can't. And Nick was like, no, just give me the wish list. I'll go and work some magic.
Yeah,
and it paid off.
Yeah, working with Tamsin was effortless. She came to set and she was full of energy and love, and everybody gravitates to it. When you watch her on screen, she's just so watchable. There's something there's a twinkle in her eye, and you can just you're just she's just so beautiful to watch on screen. Even like in the sort of the really sad moments, like you can't take your eyes off her. So it was really, really easy to work with her, like, I mean,
and it's sort of like most people in the UK know her as a sitcom actor. She's obviously done a lot of like really big theatre stuff as well, people might have seen, but this, I think, like showing it to our friends and family, people are quite like taken aback at how good she is. Like, which is, it's really cool for us to be like there to see that in person. Like, I remember like the very first take we did with her in that very first scene. I was like, oh, this is cool. This is gonna work.
Great. Yeah, and like the thing that's really like, yes, it's amazing to have Tamsin's name on the film. It helps like so much when when you're showing it to people go, oh, like, oh, you guys know what you're doing because you got Tamsin on board. Yes, all of that, but like the reality was like having someone like Tamsin made everything so quick and smooth. Like you didn't have to do 100 takes of anything. Like everything was like usable. Like we struggled so much because every single take was so good. Like you go, oh, which take do we use? It's like this one has a shade of this one has a shade of that, and it was so easy to just nudge her in like a different direction and get something new.
And also like her relationship with Zach,
you
feel like those characters have been living together for months, even though
they'd
met once for like an hour before we started filming.
Wow.
So that was just her. I knew she had a little chat with him, and they sort of got on wavelength. And
she said to him, I remember when they first met, she kind of said to him, like, if I'm like mean or angry with you in the take, I'm not gonna remain angry afterwards. It's just I'm just playing, right? And then so they'd have these like intense moments, and then she would switch, and they would laugh and they would giggle together, and Zach would give her notes, and like it was like the way she was able to make everyone feel comfortable. It just it was just really nice. And the same goes for Kevin. I mean, Kevin is hilarious. He brings like a real energy to the set, like immediately. Like he was like telling jokes to all the fishermen.
Yeah, in that scene where you see all the fishermen with him down at the docks, that's all like our friends and like my dad and my uncle and stuff.
Family members,
And they've all now got like great Kevin McNally anecdotes.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
They were all waiting for us to set up, and they were just standing around, just like
drinking tea.
Yeah, telling jokes. It was really good. And we've spoken a little bit about Amar, but what an absolute like
he should be much more famous than he is.
The guy is, like he's so watchable, he's so good, and
it's a really nice dude.
He's just like the nicest dude. Like we got on really well with him, and like we genuinely couldn't have done it without Amar, because his consulting and being there with us and helping us out was like priceless, really.
You give all the characters really such lovely moments, and I think it all kind of comes together at the end as they all rush to Musa's aid. Even characters who have exhibited a bit of racism throughout the film, it's almost as if they all come to that understanding of, oh, actually, wait, it is a human child. Like, what are we thinking, really? When audiences watch Largo, what is it that you hope that they'll take away about that kind of the human cost of displacement, I guess?
Yeah, I think it's exactly that. People that maybe agree with Tamsin's character hopefully come away thinking, I'm vocally supportive, but there's probably more I can do. And I maybe need to stop oversimplifying the issue. Because I think even on the left, people use it as a bit of a token issue to win arguments sometimes.
Sure. Yeah.
And then on the other hand, it's, if people are agreeing with Kevin McNally's character, this racist old fisherman, hopefully they came away agreeing that him having that slight change of heart, or the beginning of a change of heart, is a step in the right direction. And, exactly what you said.
that it's a child. Like,
it's a real person.
It's a child, and like that's all that matters, really. The human aspect of it.
And by the end of it, the politics has to be sort of thrown away, and
because everyone can relate to being a child, or having a child, or having a grandchild. So in that moment,
everyone can relate to being a child.
Yes, everyone can relate to being a child. So yeah, in that moment, it's it just kind of makes sense to do the right thing, you know.
And I guess that's maybe why you're hoping to kind of, you are bringing the film to schools, and I guess hoping to kind of spark those conversations pretty early on. Are you looking at primary or secondary education with the film?
Going for year 6 classes.
Nice.
Sort of right on the line of it's maybe too dark for younger kids, a bit too whimsical and adventurous for older kids, but year 6, like we've trialed it already. We played at a school in London, and the kids had like exactly the reaction we wanted. They were, they already, obviously it's in the news nonstop, and kids are very perceptive and aware, so they know about the subject, but they don't really talk about it. They don't think about what it's like, unless they happen to have, classmates who are refugees. It's not really a story about children. It's a story about statistics and small boats, and it's happening miles away, and it was really nice to hear them talk about, he's a kid like me, was like the reaction lots of them had.
Yeah, and that's kind of why we have that scene with the kids at the beginning of the film, and then later when they like go to try and play with the boat, it's like most of the kids could tell that it wasn't very nice that they were being that way. Go back home, go back to your own country or whatever. These, what we were trying to do there is really show that the kids kind of soak up what the adults say, even though they might not actually think it. They're just repeating, parroting what the adults do that they are exposed to. So it was really nice to see that the kids knew that wasn't right and it wasn't nice, and I think it just kind of awakens that empathy.
I think it is kind of a testament to the importance of film. I always think that, like, as somebody who loves films and have a lot of friends who love films as well, like, you can't help but be empathetic as a film lover, because it is just showcasing stories from people that you may never meet. So just kind of being able to be in their shoes, even for with your guys' films, it's what, 18 minutes, and then other films maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours, and you can't help but be empathetic with them. You guys are in LA now. You mentioned you're here for the Holly Shorts festival.
Right.
Has it screened yet, or is that in the next couple of days?
We screen on Friday the 15th at 7:30 p.m. The block is UK Spotlight, with a bunch of other great short films from the UK filmmakers. So that's really exciting, actually, to be in that kind of in the mix with those people, because it's people we can actually go and
we can meet
and then meet them again in London. We're really happy to be here. I mean, like, Holly Shorts is one of the top.
It's a big deal now, and
it's a big deal. Yeah, the short film festivals. Yeah, this is like the top. It's Oscar qualifying, which is really exciting.
And lots of films that have played and premiered here have gone on to win, even if they didn't win the big award at Holly Shorts.
Yeah,
they've ended up going on to be nominated or win BAFTAs and Oscars.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, it's just a great spotlight for the film and the subject matter, really. And they do a great job of filling out the cinemas and and looking after the filmmakers. We've been at like so many amazing panels with professionals. We went to a brilliant one the other day about navigating the BAFTA and Oscar circus. Yeah. So it's really, really helpful, and you meet so many brilliant filmmakers. The quality is so high. It's a real compliment, actually.
I know it's a cliche to say, like, oh, it's an honor just to be nominated, but when you watch the other films that are in, you are like, oh no, this was tough competition just to get in. So.
Yeah, and we've felt that. We premiered, we did our world premiere at Indie Shorts, and that was just as amazing. Very different vibe, but like, again, the quality is so high. Yeah.
Where was Indie Shorts? Is that in America as well?
Yeah, it's Indianapolis.
Yeah. We'll be playing for the first time. Well, we're waiting for some festival notifications, but we'll be playing in London in October
at
Buff British Urban Film Festival.
Nice.
Yeah, which is really exciting. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Have you found like any, I don't know, like interesting ways that maybe American audiences are watching the film compared to maybe like UK audiences at all?
Yeah,
Anything like that yet? Or
we weren't sure when we started submitting it to American festivals. We were like, are they gonna get it? Because the film is very British, and the issue of refugees and how people react is universal. But the specifics of the film are it's a British town on the south coast, and even having actors like Tamsin, she's huge in the UK, and she's been in stuff in America, but is less well known. So we weren't sure if it would play here, and yet everyone that we've met who's seen it has been like, yeah, I get
so relevant to what's going on, and it just, people seem to be able to draw parallels. It's very interesting.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
So are you guys hoping to go all the way then? I assume the main goal is to get as many eyes as possible on the film, but are you hoping to maybe be in the Oscars race? You are in, obviously, festivals that qualify it.
I mean, it
would be cool.
It would be amazing. Yeah, I mean,
sort of out of our hands.
Yeah, it's kind of like we've done all we can now. We can just be present and support the film.
Yeah.
I mean,
we spent so long trying to get, we wrote that first draft almost 10 years ago. And then the draft that Slick got was 2 and a bit years ago, almost 3 years ago. And then we had to get the money. And then just when we had finished editing, when we finished shooting was a big moment. When we finished editing and we could we know our cast and crew, that was sort of the end point I imagined.
Yeah.
So everything since then has just been like a cherry on the cake on top of the cherry on top of the cherry.
Yeah, it's like, obviously when you go to these festivals that are Oscar qualifying, you go like, oh, it's possible. It's a possibility. It's in reach now, and we just don't know, because like I said before, the amount of amazing films that don't even get into festivals as well. Like you go it's
and I can't shake my British cynicism when people come up to us and say the film was great, like you guys, you might be in the running. I'm always like, don't be ridiculous, man.
Whereas as an Italian, I romanticize everything, and
he's picking out his suit already.
Brilliant.
We keep each other sane by
balancing each other out. Yeah, brilliant. What's next for you guys then? Have you got another short film on the horizon? Maybe an acting project or even a feature? What's next for you guys?
Yeah, short film wise, we got a couple of things bubbling under the surface. Especially having gone to a few festivals, we been our excitement for short film has been reawakened.
Yeah.
And we had a couple of ideas in a drawer that we kind of pulled out again.
They were on pause while we were doing Largo, and now that we've watched 40 festivals in a week, you're like 40 short films at a festival, you're like, let's do that again.
But we're heavily working on developing a feature and a TV show. We've got a pilot for a TV show that we're really excited about.
Right.
Kind of
2 pilots.
Yeah, we have 2 pilots, but we're focusing on one.
Right? One we've just finished writing, so it's a little more exciting.
Yeah, so we've got a few things bubbling under the surface. We don't know what's going to happen next. We're working on trying to make them all happen, putting them all in a phase of
sort of
development.
Spin the plates for as many things as possible, so that when someone goes, hey, you guys want to make a feature? We can go, yes, this one.
Yeah, the series and the feature are both kind of in the same vein as Largo. I mean, they have very similar themes, and I think Largo could absolutely help those happen. So we're working on a few things. We're just excited to make the next thing, really. That's where we're happy.
And if anyone sees Largo and thinks it should be a feature, we agree, and we would be happy to do that.
You've got an idea. You've got an idea, is that what you're saying?
An idea. Yeah. It's maybe not the idea people think it would be.
Yeah.
Watching the film, it's a bit different, but it's a little out of our price range.
Yeah, it's it's all up for grabs.
Yeah, brilliant. on the podcast, we've been working through our blind spots on the Sight and Sound greatest films of all time list, and we've seen a lot of films that are favorites of filmmakers and critics, and you start to see how some of these kind of classics influence modern day films and modern day filmmakers. So I'm interested, maybe like not what your favorite films are, but maybe what films have influenced the type of films that you wish to make.
Yeah, 2 different lists right there.
With a bit of crossover.
There's a bit of crossover.
Yeah, there usually is. There usually is.
Like the one that pops into my mind straight away is Bicycle Thieves. We both love that film. That's kind of
the Italian neorealism in general. There's a lot of stuff there, which Bicycle Thieves is probably the most famous one, but there's probably a long list of films we love from that era that should get more attention.
Yeah. Did that feature on the reel that you had for kind of
absolutely, yeah.
I can see that.
Bit of Rome, Open City,
in
there.
Yeah.
Shoeshine.
Shoeshine. It's like just like that era of Italian filmmaking is,
that's definitely in Largo a lot.
Yeah. Studio Ghibli, a bunch of Studio Ghibli films were on that list of influence for Largo. It's just very much in our DNA to watch that kind of film. We both love Porco Rosso. Didn't directly influence Largo, but maybe it did.
There's some boat stuff in there.
There's some boats.
The other big reference, which is obviously you've seen, is E.T.
Yeah.
Weirdly, E.T. is like
E.T. was a huge,
not because it's about an alien, but the way it's shot, the camera is always at Elliot or E.T.'s eye level, which is a little rule we used in Largo.
Yeah.
Which makes the adult characters seem huge and
mysterious.
Yeah, all the little things that to us seem very normal, like a fishing net or a boat, is suddenly much bigger and scarier. And
likewise, Kes was on that list for the like similar reasons, but like the kind of the very British, sort of, I don't want to use the word grit, but I guess that's
hopefully Largo is halfway between Kes and E.T.
That's kind of how we sold the project for a long time. It's like Ken Loach meets Spielberg. There's that magical element and the very British drama element too. Yeah. Any other films you want to?
I need to look at that Sight and Sound list to see if there are any blind spots, but
there
definitely is.
Yeah,
well, it's a good list to work through. I'll say that. It's opened my eyes to a lot of cinema that I some of it was on my list, some of it probably wasn't, and I'm glad that it was pointed out to me and forced me to kind of watch it. Really some absolute gems on there, as you'd expect. So it's great. But thank you both. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for sharing your time with us, and good luck with the festival run. And and bringing it back to London soon, by the sounds of it. So looking forward to it.
Excited to bring it to London. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. Thank you to Max and Salvatore there for that conversation. Interesting to see Bicycle Thieves come up again in that final question. It seems to be a massive influence for a lot of filmmakers. And if you're a long-term listener or viewer of the show, you know that both Chris and I got around to seeing the Bicycle Thieves this year. I think it was an episode a few months ago now, and we both really, really loved it. So check that one out if you're interested. But also, you should go check out Bicycle Thieves. But more importantly, you should go see Largo. It's at the start of its festival run right now. It sounds like it will be back in the UK very soon. I highly recommend it. It's really moving and a kind of beautifully crafted piece of work, absolutely stunning to watch, but with a really timely message that lingers long after the credits roll, because beyond all the artistry, it is a very timely reminder of the ongoing refugee crisis, of which there are kind of many issues that are too often reduced to political talking points rather than human stories. And I'm in the noise of the news, it is very difficult to remember that at times. I really think it's worth checking that out. So, that has been the episode for this week. If you've enjoyed it, make sure to leave us a 5-star rating or review. We do really appreciate it. And if you'd like to keep up to date with us, make sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at The Film Angle. We also have a Film Angle playlist. If you want to listen to what we listen to, you can find that in the show notes. Be sure to catch us next week for more cinematic discussions. Goodbye.